Jan Lahan's envisioned vehicle of return to the nightlife entertainment of Oklahoma City ending, her and Mickey Rogers' club ownership Aspirations, a pilgrimage into history, the band a casualty of Jan's club's demise. Gary, having been privileged to the club's possible closing, was aware of a booking opportunity at the Derrick Club in Edmond, a small but growing community north of Oklahoma City, and when inquiring, discovered the club's franchise fortified by a well-known acquaintance of his from the Pirates Cove, Bill Deal. The Peter Falk-resembling Columbo-looking Bill Deal was from Chicago, having made a transition to Oklahoma City years earlier as a union organizer, conducting the union's business out of the Holiday Inn West. The musician wasn't surprised that Bill had remained in Oklahoma, as he was an astute visionary and opportunist, as evidenced by securing the lease of the Derrick Club. The band accepting a 5 nights per week offer, Jerry Cooper's expertise of the Doobie Brothers, Jim Croce, and Loggins and Messina and live in a capacity house mainly on weekends, drawing from the Oklahoma City metro area. Bill spending less and less time at the club, finally mentioning to the band that he'd spoken with the owner of the building, and was putting his $500 per month club lease on the market, for a walkaway price of $1,500. Half-heartedly asking if the band would be interested in acquiring it, and as part of his sale pitch, offering to exhibit the club's financial records, demonstrating as operators the band could marginalize the entertainment overhead expense. A discussion of convenience between Cooper, Hughes, and Gary was engendered. A possible partnership was up for consideration, guitarist Jerry Connell deciding it was time he moved on. The three deciding to move forward with the purchase of the lease, each to contribute $500. The night of acquisition, Gary with a $500 check in hand, making a fathomed discovery. He was the sole responder to the agreement, Jack Hughes venturing no expenditure. Jerry Cooper accrediting that he would provide monetary support for cosmetic enhancements to the club, equal to his agreement share. Bill accepting Gary's token $500 and a promissory note for the balance. Gary's wife Kay and longtime drummer friend Glenn Froman witnessing the transaction. The lease transferring event concluding, it was the band's first night as club proprietors. Gary about to embark onto the bandstand when drummer Jack Hughes approached from out of nowhere. Jack with one blow to Gary's jaw, sending the pianist sprawling to the floor. Hughes immediately pouncing upon the now prone pianist, making threatening accusations, but presenting no other physical response. The pianist responded with a call for someone to remove Jack from his endowed position. A glance at the 220-pound Glenn found no response. Gary's 95-pound wife Kay arriving, clutching Jack's shoulder with a resounding, "Get off my husband." Jack rescinded his position. The pianist rose, the blood trickling from an endowed split in his lip, the what and why perplexity of what just transpired remaining. The open mouth onlookers projecting a scene of bewilderment. Jerry Cooper immediately taking Jack aside seeking an explanation, but discovering the drummer unresponsive, not giving a reason for his actions, even to his closest friend, and also refusing to fulfill his percussionist expectations on the drums. Gary approached his friend, drummer Glenn Froman about playing. Glenn not enthused, but said he would. Jerry Cooper again visiting with Jack, returning stating that Jack still refuses to play, but would bow to Glenn using his drums. Gary having maintained what he thought was mutual respect with Jack, but Hughes, younger and a bachelor, the two having little in common except for their shared interest in music. Gary finding Jack's action perplexing, but a lesson was instilled, the drummer never acknowledging the rationale for his action that night, and from henceforth the pianist would question the drummer's character. Gary receiving later disclosure from Cooper that was somewhat chilling. Jack was in possession of a .32 caliber handgun he carried in a briefcase that was always with him. Realizing if Glenn had intervened instead of his wife, there might have been an entirely different outcome. Gary and Jack putting their differences aside, but Gary soon discovering what could have been a successful affiliation was not to be. The band, a trio on Tuesday through Thursday, with Gary's longtime friend Jerry Willis, playing lead guitar and sax on Friday and Saturday nights. It was just a matter of time before the so-called partnership crumbled. Gary offering to withdraw from the club if compensated for his investment amount. Cooper and Hughes now working in conjunction, at first accepting Gary's offer, the pianist about to return to his piano bar calling, but the two reneging on the agreement, not coming up with the compensation, and after a brief attempt to operate, they locked the doors walking away. Gary having to make a decision, whether to write off his investment and also walk away, or accept the challenge of the Derrick Club.